All right, I'd like to take a moment to mention that this evening's meeting will be the last official board meeting with Richard Matkin. And I'd personally like to acknowledge the work he has done in the district for the past 15 years. Serving as the Associate Superintendent for Business and Facility Services for 12 years, he provided impeccable financial stewardship of the district. His expertise in school finance positioned the district well, guiding operations from a budgetary standpoint, as well as very resourceful deployment of bonds. His oversight of facilities contributed to the successful addition or renovation of many campuses during a period of dramatic growth in the district. For the past 3 years, leading as the superintendent, he has renewed and strengthened relationships in the Plano ISD community, winning the hearts of many. His innovative educational focus brought forward the implementation of a new academy for the health sciences, while simultaneously implementing the new Academy High School and the consolidation of the International Baccalaureate World School at Plano East. Several other creative projects are currently being developed. I've enjoyed working with Richard and will miss his passion for the success of all students, his energetic drive to always triumph, and his sense of humor. So, Richard, we're going to miss you.
I would like to also comment that, Richard, I truly consider you a friend. I think the staff, the teachers, the kids in this community hold you in the highest regard of anybody that I've had the pleasure to work with. You have just done an outstanding job. You are so incredibly transparent. Anybody that wants to meet with you anytime, anywhere, you're there available for whatever the situation may be, and that is an incredible attribute. And you've just done a fabulous job. We'll miss you, and I promised Steve that I'll be the first one to give him some problems. So.
Yeah, I don't know that a lot of folks that are outside of the table here, staff and board, understand truly how instrumental Richard has been in moving this district forward in the last 4 years. He took the reins from Dr. Otto, and we never skipped a beat. In fact, we actually, I think, picked up the pace just a little bit in some regards, and you did a fantastic job. I mean, there's no other way to say that. The only other thing I would say is that the deadline to apply is not until the 22nd, so bear that in mind.
Well, I think I just want to mention, Richard, above all of your accolades, and they are many, I think the one that comes to my mind, and is the greatest one that you did for this district, is you were the chief architect for the entire redistricting that we did. And I will never forget the hours and hours you spent with the community, with the board, with the staff, and putting together an entire redistricting for the whole district. And it wasn't easy because we watched the red shirts show up and the green shirts, and I know that there were times that people thought that we could not pull it together because there were just too many different and opposing views. And I really appreciate the way you pulled it all together, and eventually just did a fantastic job on that whole redistricting project. Thanks.
Well, and I was going to comment on that too, because that is kind of how I got in my head one day that I was going to run for school board. But thank you for, you really did handle that well, because many of my friends that were concerned about Plano East becoming small, which is not going to be a concern at all, you helped them understand, that we were planning for the future and that things were going to be fine. And they always were very grateful for you spending time and explaining things to them. I also wanted to, on a personal level, thank you for putting up with me. Thank you for educating me in a variety of topics. And most of all, thank you for making me laugh, making me feel accepted right off the bat. You were one of the first persons that when I did decide to invest my time in this position. Well, was considering investing my time in this position before I got elected. You really wanted to make sure that I understood about the school district. I didn't grow up here. I grew up in Houston, and I'm one of the few that hasn't been in this area for a long time. So, I'm the newbie, really, in reality. So, thank you very much for Richard, and the wife. Thank you very much. The grandkids. Thank you.
Well, I'll add my 2 cents. We've known each other a long time, and I enjoyed, when I first got elected, you sat right here next to me, and we laughed a lot, and you have always had just this great ability, and this is not like like it's been a funeral or something, talking about somebody.
Maybe it's a roast.
Yeah,
No,
you have a special ability to help connect the dots for people. To take something really complex and make it sound reasonable, where anybody can understand it. And that's really helped us as a district to communicate with our constituency and our voters to help support really important things for us. That's just an incredible attribute that you have. And that relates to some of what everybody's already talked about, which is connecting with people. You changed your plans personally because really you were the only person who could do what we needed to have done the last few years. So you put your personal thoughts aside to help this district. You made personal sacrifices, you and your family. And not everybody, will know that, but the people who are close to you know that, and take notice of it, and thank you.
Well, the theme for this year was loud and clear. And when I saw that, I thought, that is Richard. One of my favorite phrases that you use frequently is, let me be perfectly clear. And sometimes I wanted to be clear, and sometimes I didn't. So let me be perfectly clear right now about my admiration and deep respect for you. Thank you for returning this district to the children and families at PISD. Thank you for your dedication to the teachers and the administrators. Thank you for coming to football games, women's soccer send-offs, and drill team spring show rehearsals, even though they set the fire alarm off. Thank you for being the people's superintendent. Thank you for people not being afraid anymore of the admin building or 15th Street. It's been an honor and a privilege to serve with you. All the best, my friend.
Well, it's sort of hard to talk now, but I do appreciate the kind words and comments. It's been a great opportunity for me, and I sincerely appreciate that. You've been a great supporter of me. I guess the one thing that you learn through the years is you don't do anything by yourself. You do it with people. So for that, I'm glad I got to work with a lot of good people. Thanks.
Thank you, Richard. I know that's not your first standing ovation. It won't be your last.